And we are live. The anti-air broadcast is here. Got a few important topics to cover. Got a couple guests, hopefully. Stick around. It's going to be a good show.
Yo.
Here at the anti-air broadcast, we'll say what you can.
The information provided by the speakers and presenters on the Anti-Air Broadcast platform is for general informational and entertainment purposes only. Information does not represent the broadcast network and all entities involved. All information is provided in good faith. However, we make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, adequacy, validity, reliability, availability, or completeness of this information. Hurt feelings is not defamation.
JV team for life.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The anti-hero broadcast is here. It is, what's today?
Thursday.
July 2nd. The anti-hero broadcast is the news entertainment broadcast for veterans, first responders, and all blue-collar Americans. Join us live every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you like the show. The show is brought to you by none other than Elevated Silence. Go to elevatedsilence.com. Use promo code ANTIAIR15. Save 15% on your suppressor. They have cans from everything from 22s to 50 cals. Exercise your Second Amendment right. Get yourself a can. The process is not that hard, and Jim will walk you through it. ElevatedSilence.com. Use promo code ANTIAIR15. Save 15%. And Vengeance. If you go to Vengeance.com, you can use promo code ANTIHERO, and you'll save 15%. One of the things that they just came out with is this brand new protein. No soy, no GMO, no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or colors, no growth hormones, and it is from cows in New Zealand. And from what I understand, New Zealand put out the best premier beef, very humane way of them doing it. So if you want to be animal friendly and get the best protein for your body, this isn't the $26 jug at GNC. This is premier protein. You can go over to vengeance.com and use promo code ANTIHERO and get 15%.
It's good for the animals. It's good for the animals. They treat them right, unlike Tyler who wants to shoot dogs. So make sure you go to Vengeance and get that real animal lover protein, not that stuff that Tyler, they hang dogs and stuff from ceilings and then take the protein out.
Man, I got a lot of flack for that one.
I know. Justifiably so.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get bit. But anyways, no dogs or cows were harmed
any extra.
Yeah. I don't really know the humane way to make a cow into meat or protein, but New Zealand does it best, and that's why it tastes the best. So it is from New Zealand, but then processed right here in the United States. So go to vengeance.com, use promo code ANTIHERO, save 15% on all their products, including the new protein. Don't forget to join the Discord. The Discord is a free place where you can get together with us, join the group, have a good time. The boys are in there every night. Me and Mike are in there a lot. I'm usually in there at least every Thursday and Friday. It's a good place to catch up, get to know everybody, the host of the Counterculture Network. And if you like that, and that's free, try the Patreon.
Patreon's cool. I did go in Discord last night and watch these two morons playing some stupid game where they were jumping all over stuff, doing something crazy. And I tried to talk, but I wasn't allowed to talk. But it was neat. But the Patreon is where we interact in DMs and post up-to-date current stuff. And we also do live shows in there just for the Patreon. I see there was a couple messages I asked this morning. I saw Mish Man's son is getting to come home and spend some time with him on convalescent leave so he can recover at the house. So that's what Patreon's for. It gives us the ability to interact, talk with everybody in a more one-on-one atmosphere. And if you really want to be the coolest you ever could be, you jump out of the Patreon, you join the Antihero app, you go to antiheroapp.com, become part of the 99%. I will tell you, I passed a tattoo shop this morning. I thought about going in. It's going to happen. 99% tattoo. So you go to antiheroapp.com, you jump in there, you got everyone posting about their life. It's like our own social media platform. And like I always say, it's the coolest thing other than the other side of the pillow.
All right, man. Let's get right into it, dude. Lots of good topics this morning, all breaking pretty much overnight. The first one is the TPS, the Supreme Court ruled that they were going to restrict or take away TPS for Haitians. I'm assuming all immigrants, but Haitians are primarily impacted by this. So at first I had to Google what TPS was. TPS stands for Temporary Protected Status. It is a humanitarian immigration designation granted by the U.S. government to eligible nationals of certain countries that are deemed unsafe to return due to ongoing armed conflict, environmental disasters, or other temporary emergencies. TPS allows these individuals to live and work legally in the United States for a designated period and shields them from deportation. A recent Supreme Court ruling cleared the way for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to end these protections for thousands of Haitian and Syrian nationals. So that is just kind of explaining what TPS is and gave a little AI depiction of what's going on. But then NPR decided to cover it a little bit more in depth and tell us how this is going to impact our healthcare system. So I never knew NPR other than boring old men on the radio. Do you know if they're left leaning or right leaning or
any? Let me look at it. Well, I mean, I'm gonna go left leaning.
All right, so the U.S. healthcare system is in crisis. A Supreme Court ruling could make things worse. So amid the flurry of consequential Supreme Court decisions that have come down recently. Okay, so yes, that's definitely left-leaning. It's the one about temporary protected status that has American healthcare sector the most worried. The ruling last week cleared the way for the Trump administration to cancel TPS for Haitians and Syrians. Experts say deporting Haitian TPS recipients will have a catastrophic impact on the nationwide healthcare workforce.
Pause right there. Start that sentence over. Healthcare for Syrians and Haitians.
Well, I think it's trying to say that they are. Is it saying they need the healthcare, or they are? Let me keep reading because I might have it wrong. The pain will be felt across hospitals and emergency rooms, which already operate under persistent staffing shortfalls, but it's the long-term care sector, including senior care facilities and home care, that will suffer the greatest disruptions. And whoever that is, a distinguished professor of health policy, it's going to be a disaster in the Boston area where a lot of our nursing home and home care aides are Haitian. Okay, so they're trying to say that our healthcare system is going to be impacted because Haitian.
It's the same thing they said about, like, in Florida we have a heavy like citrus. So they're like, who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to carry the boats? Right? Who's going to carry the boats? Who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to work in the hospital? So they're basically justifying the illegal entry into the country, healthcare being free for people that don't deserve it, because your grandmother is going to be in a nursing home and we need Haitians to take care of her. And that's like the same spin they put on the citrus industry.
So, I mean, I could give two shits about citrus, and I know an argument can be made for anything, but I was like,
you don't like orange juice? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I was directly impacted during the ICE raids. When Edwin, who I believe is a Mexican American, he owns a business in an LLC. When Edwin was failing to cut my lawn accordingly, like I would Zelle him to or Venmo him to, and I'm like, what's going on? And he gave me a bunch of excuses about labor, but then I found out, like, ICE in that area was literally they had no more hardcore fugitives to take, so they were taking like the dudes that cut lawns and do roofs. So like I was impacted. I had to go cut my own lawn, Mike. I had to fire Edwin and cut my own lawn, and that impacted me greatly. But
yeah, we here, like, we have Edwin as well, but we have here like old school buses full of Hispanics that are taken out into the groves out west and have to pick fruit. It's thousands of them. We have like compounds out there, and yeah, it affects that as well. But this circles back to the whole issue, which is when you allow people to come in the country at mass numbers with no income and no housing, the land of the free becomes the land of somebody has to pay for it. And we knock third world countries. I'm going to go back to Thailand because that's where I know the most about. You can't get in there without a visa and paying for healthcare like up front. Like you're going to start paying into our healthcare system. You're going to start contributing. What place can succeed when you say, okay, we're gonna have an open border, we're gonna let everybody in, but they don't make any money and they don't have anywhere to live and they can't take care of themselves when they're sick and they can't pay for themselves when they're sick. It's a great concept, and I am not trying to be inhumane that people don't deserve to live a good life, but you can't support millions of people that don't work and don't have anywhere to live and expect to succeed. It just doesn't work that way. Unless you do like Ryan's tactic, which is, no billionaires and those guys build rockets like Elon Musk, and then he has to pay for 2 million, 3 million people to come in the country and live. So it's kind of it's a hard thing to like get behind when humanely, I don't want anybody to suffer, but you have to kind of help yourself and have to
it's
work.
like I say this about and you actually referenced this last week. The mask that falls in the airplane, you have to seal yours before you can help anybody.
Yep.
So if we're plummeting as a nation because we're overextending ourselves to help, we're not going to be able to help anybody. And
it's crazy.
Jerry brings up
what's that?
Go ahead.
No, Jerry, I saw it go by. I couldn't keep up with it though.
He said, Tyler, the young son needs to cut the lawn paths along the shore, maybe a little allowance. And, he's right.
It'll help his bench press.
I was like, he means Loki.
But no, he doesn't.
But I mean, at the end of the day, what happened to the South Park episode where they took our jobs? I'm telling you right now, I've talked to many people and people close to me. It is impossible to find work again in the United States. They beefed up those numbers where Trump did all the whole there's jobs for everybody. That is since not a thing anymore. So when you're like, well, all the Haitians are going to be gone who do nursing. Well, that's great. Maybe we can get some federal grants in there and give some other people some options to become nurses and open up the doors to the medical field and the healthcare field to open up jobs for Americans. Is that a crazy concept?
No, but it goes back to what I'm saying is if you're going to come in the country in mass numbers and you're contributing immediately and you're paying for your healthcare and you're buying and you're renting, what's that going to do? That's going to fill all those. What is it? What does Ryan say? 1 in 7 houses is empty. Well, if we started at the bottom and everybody who came in had to have a place to live, had to pay bills, had to pay their taxes, had to pay for their health care, it would create the upward tick of income because then all those houses are going to need to be filled. And then the renters are going to have more money and they're going to hire more people to do this, do that. So when you just allow millions and millions, and I believe it's way up there now, of people to come in with nowhere to go and no way to pay for anything, it just doesn't work. It'd be like a cruise ship just opening the door and saying, all right, we're at port. Everybody can come in until it's full, right? Everybody. There might be 20 people on the boat that actually booked the cruise and paid for it. The other 3,000 just walked on, right? Because they got there first. They have to eat. They have to, they have to feed them. They have to go to the bathroom. They have to do all those things. And then they get off and then they're like, well, we lost $1 million on this cruise, and they pull in the next port and everybody gets on that didn't pay. The cruise ship industry is out of business. If Disney just opened the gate, you can go over and over in the business world and run these scenarios by how everything would fail. So how do we expect a country to succeed in the same business model? It's a failed business model, and it sucks. It's almost like if you're going to go to dogs, I love dogs. Like, and you start to think, if you start to branch your brain out to how many dogs are actually like in pounds and in shelters, it'll blow you. Yeah, you won't ever you won't function, right? You just won't function. You'll be like, well, I'm going to rescue a dog today. Oh yeah, in the state of California, there's 1.9 million stray dogs, and they're killing 100,000 a day. And then you're like, fuck, I just want to jump off a bridge now, right? I don't want to hear about it. So you have a side of the country that makes you hear about it. The left completely just cries and has no solutions, but just tells you how bad it is, but they don't offer a solution. And at the same time, like their business model of open borders and all these issues caused this problem. And now it's like, well, fix it. Well, we can't fix it. It's too far gone. Like I don't think Elon Musk's money could fucking house every dog that's loose, right? Or every person. Like, you can't do it. We created a spiral of bad business that's going to someday cause a civil war in this country to reform and have a war, and it's going to be crazy. That's what I think.
Well, going back to like the dog analogy, like, I mean, I rescued a pit bull, and what they're trying to do is sanctions is that if you bring him to the ASPCA, they will give him the shots. They would do it, but he is 100% to be neutered so we can stop this chain. And that is their only attempt is free neuterings.
Yeah.
And it's not humane. I shouldn't say it's not humane. It's like going to for us to go get surgery in like a third world country. Like, they sent him home with no pain meds. So the day I adopted him, the pain meds they gave him wore off, and he was howling all night long. I had to take him to an emergency vet, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, these pounds, they're not pumping out the money for meds for them. You have to get them on your own." It was just, but they're doing something about it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we're plummeting as a market in a country, and there's not enough jobs out there for everybody. We are living in a time when everything's upside down, and you can't afford to live. And we've talked about that extensively with the housing market, which is causing all kinds of empty houses, and then the big billionaires are buying them up, and blah blah blah. We can get into that, but at the end of the day, you're taking away jobs from Americans and giving them to Syrians and Haitians who aren't even citizens here. Yes. And I guarantee you, Americans will work for the amount of that they're getting paid, because people don't have jobs. It's insane to me. And then you get deemed a right-wing radical when you say common stuff like this.
Yeah, it's it's time to get back to common sense. And I don't know how that looks, because like we just said about the dogs, we know dogs are being euthanized at shelters every day. Obviously, that's not something we would do with humans. I'm not suggesting it, but we know that's going on. So if you think animal wise, that's the animal solution, right? You just got to get rid of them. It's the worst thing I can think about, but it is. So what do you do with all these people? It's like, you forget about them. You open your house and let 27 people move in. Do you donate? Like, what is the answer? And I would think, which is the whole ICE thing, the first thing would be secure the border, right? You have to stop. You have to put if you're going to start emptying the boat, right? You're going to start the boat sinking. You're going to start using a bucket to get the water out. You got to stop the leak first. Like, I got to stop the leak. And now hopefully I can keep up and not let this thing sink. I can get all the water out. So it's kind of like, you got to enforce the laws that they're trying to not enforce, or they're mad people are enforcing, which is first securing the border, and then going, let's get some of this out, and you even got to sell it at this point in society, that you have to go after just the violent people. So we know that millions and millions of people broke the law and came in, and we can maybe get people to get on board to get the violent people out. Even while getting the violent people out, we're going to get rocks thrown at us and protests and everything else, and create all these ugly situations. And then it's like, how do we get the nonviolent people out? And then it's the argument, do you want them not? They're good people. They're there. It's like all the things we were founded on, all the things that are important to succeed, everybody just ignores or says it's not right. Can't do that. It's not right. Well, how do we continue to succeed? Just keep printing more money? Just keep printing more money. Just keep printing more money. I mean, I don't know what the answer is.
The age-old tale. Heather says half these people supporting it wouldn't let these people near their homes. Do you remember that? Because this is all political now. And do you remember when Ron DeSantis bust all the immigrants to Martha's Vineyard?
Yep.
And because the people, even the average everyday citizen, those street interviews are amazing. Hey, you believe in, I have an illegal that needs somewhere to live. Will you take them in? Like, oh no, I can't. I can't. Like, I know you can't, but it's become such a political thing that, you know, common sense goes out the fucking window.
But like I said, you have to help yourself. And when you cross a border illegally with nowhere to go, I don't know how that set you up to begin. Like I said, it's like going to dinner with no money. You go to the restaurant, you walk in, you're like, yeah, I got no money. So it's like, well, we can't give you anything. We might have some water for you, like basics, right? I give you a glass of water, but I really can't give you a steak dinner. Like, you don't have any money.
Well, lots of restaurants that like being successful don't allow you to come in and use the restroom unless you're a patron. They're not open to the streets. We've both been there, walking down like a boulevard, walking down a tourist area, like, dude, I got to piss or shit or whatever. Like, and you're like trying to find somewhere to go, but every business is like, no, dude, this is traffic.
Oh, they have closed borders, huh? In the business? No, no bathroom for anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to contribute to my business to use my bathroom, right? Oh, yes. Wow. What a concept. What a concept, right? Very interesting.
So that's it. That's all that's the updates. Obviously, the left, I did not know how upset the left was with the Supreme Court rulings. I'm assuming it's like you said, Mike, I'm assuming it's all 6-3 on everything.
Yeah, you might get a 7-2 once in a while, but it's usually 6-3. Was that one 6-3? Did it say?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I'm sure it's 6-3. I'm sure it's 6-3.
You said, I'll never forget it. You said there's 3 bad ones in there still.
Yeah. Look at the rulings. You'll usually see a 6-3.
But yeah, moving on from there. Let me stop this screen.
Dom's good for 2. I just want to make sure you see the private chat.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Make sure you get that link. Okay.
So we're gonna move on to the next one, which is kind of interesting. There was a breakaway in the Catholic Church.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Touching boys.
So obviously, it could be argued that the Catholic religion and the Pope and the Vatican is a highly political state in and of itself. When you have the Pope coming out and he's dealing with politicians, and does the Pope have to be voted in?
I don't know how they pick them. They put the smoke out the window. Somebody votes him in.
Either way, you got a Pope coming in saying that it's a very controversial subject, but saying that homosexuality is accepted by the Catholic Church in some way, shape, or form. The last Pope said that.
It's from Chicago. That would do it. He's from Chicago, so
the Pope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, you're like, okay, well now the Vatican just now a political entity in itself. But there was a sect that broke away from the Catholics. So let's read upon that.
Selection is like Delta Force.
What do you say?
It says, Effort says the fucking selection's like Delta Force. The Pope's got to be out there. Never mind.
All right. Breakaway Catholic group excommunicated after defying warnings from Pope Leo. The Vatican announced Thursday that priests and members of a breakaway Catholic group that ordained 4 new bishops in defiance of Pope Leo, the whatever, wishes are in schism and excommunicated. The Society of Saint Pius X, or 10, an ultra-traditionalist group, went ahead with the ordinations on Wednesday without I almost said PayPal. Without papal approval. There's a lot of hard words in here, Mike, that I've never seen before.
Yeah, I don't know why you're trying to read that. It's already off to a really rough start.
Papal? Papal? How do you say this word? Approval, and despite appeals from Leo to reverse the decision. In response, the Vatican's doctrinal office on Thursday published a decree saying that the 4 bishops are excommunicated, along with the 2 bishops who participated in the ordination ceremony. Excommunication means they are excluded from the sacraments of the church. It added to an explanatory note that priests belong to the society and lay members who formally adhered to the group are also in schism and excommunicated. The decree warns all clerks and lay faithful not to formally follow the society, as they will automatically incur the penalty of excommunication. In a final appeal to the group Monday, Leo had warned that the ordinations would be schismatic act in a sin of extreme gravity, and the ruling by the Vatican is wide-ranging, is clamping down on the group. Later Thursday, the office set out the steps needed for priests to be allowed back in the Catholic Church, including writing personally to the Pope asking for the excommunication to be lifted. So,
I got
What?
a text says you're doing better than Floyd Mayweather, so it's not bad.
priests must also sign a profession of faith and make a pledge to not publicly attack the pontiff and his teachings, as well as other conditions, according to Vatican News. So it's things like this, I think, personally, that give religion a bad name. So faith in Christ or
But
faith in
this is how it starts, man. This is how it starts. Pope says it's okay, right? Like, and then it just it's okay.
Well, what's that sound like? That sounds like a fucking lawsuit or a cease and desist. You are not allowed to disagree with the Pope publicly.
Even though he's changing the whole the whole game. He's making his own rules. He's like what the Mormons do. The dude who looked in the, remember John Smith? Didn't he looking like a fucking hole and came up with his own scripture? That's what Mormons believe.
I think most of Mormons aren't they the ones that are dumb?
Yeah, dumb. That's
Yeah,
was
that's
hard. Like John Smith, right? He looked in the hole and he's like, they talked to me, but I can't show you what they said. I'm just going to tell you what they said. And then he changed the whole fucking game. Right? He came up with his own version of the.
You got
Book of
Mormonism, and then you got today's. I mean, we all know Scientology as being like mentally ill, but it had to start somewhere. And maybe in 100 years, Scientology won't be to us. It came. I think Scientology came in like the 70s or 80s, but it didn't become popular until the 2000s. So it was in our lifetime. And, in 100 years, it will be in no living person's lifetime when this was popular. So it'll almost be like, how we talk about Mormonism, but it's almost like accepted, like Mormons are an official religion. But when you look at the backstory of it, it's like, man, this is retarded. So is Scientology.
It's pretty funny. But it's like, here's the Pope saying it's okay to be gay all of a sudden. And now it's like, nobody can stop him, right? He's the Pope, right? And he changes the whole game. Right? It's like,
I don't
the
understand.
game. He just wakes up one day and says, you know what? I don't care what the Bible says. I talked to a guy last night and this is what he told me. He updated it.
Yeah.
He wrote some amendments.
Bro.
He trusts me, bro. He wrote some amendments and he's like, here's a new one.
Do you know anything about Catholicism?
No.
I don't. I know that they pray to saints. I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. I just don't know a lot about the religion. I know that
the services are very long. I used to work at a Catholic church for overtime, and it's long.
Boring too. Lots of boring.
Yeah, it's a no fun zone.
No fun zone.
No, it's not like those. I go to like the modern church. The what are those people called? Christ Fellowship is the one here in town. Great people, and that's like music, upbeat, like
fucking pastors relatable.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and then you go to the Catholic church, and it's like, why did you look at that guy?
I remember last Catholic church I went to. It was for family. It was like I was a guest there, looking at someone like being accepted or something. And I remember I went and I saw the priest was morbidly obese, and I'm like, so this guy is cranking down cheeseburgers all day, every day, telling you about your temple and to have discipline.
We gotta make priests great again, huh? We got to get the fun fat priests. We got to get that.
I mean, dude, it's like, to me, a religious leader, and I know people are going to take that and run with it, but any type of pastor or priest or minister, I mean, they have to be somewhat disciplined. Like, they can't be, obviously everybody sins and they're not perfect, and a good one will be the first one to tell you. And I don't think, maybe that sets apart Christianity from Catholicism, is that my pastor says all the time, I am the chief of sinners. I don't know if a priest does that, but I mean, even if my pastor was overweight, I'd be like, dude, at least on the outside, don't like appear sinful. Like, let me get to know you before.
Cheeseburgers are sinful. Can't eat a cheeseburger?
What Like you can't be fat. You
What if
can't
he's
be
got
fat.
like knee
That's like one of
problems?
the, isn't
What if
that
he's
one of
got
like
knee
the seven
problems?
sins? Huh?
I've been to a lot. So I've spent a lot of time in church. A lot. Getting
What do you
paid.
call it?
Getting
You-
paid. I was there. I was in the building, and I was at a lot. You get in like the Baptist church. That's another wild. That's another good time.
Those
They
people
got
are
like a
nuts.
hot tub up there. They throw them in like when they baptize them in the pool. Like there's a lot going on. So
Well, I mean, you get baptized in the pool. I got baptized in like
oh,
a
okay.
hot.
I just like they sing a lot, right? And then there's like the one down the street. They talk in tongues. They like all that stuff. You ever seen those ones? They like stand up and just don't make any sense and shout and like yell things. Oh yeah, it's a riot.
Talking about the culturally diverse churches.
No. That's like Southern Baptist. Those people really get after it.
No,
That's a
they're
great
nuts,
church.
dude.
That's a great church.
Baptist
I'm
people,
talking
I
like
shouldn't say nuts.
my
I should
buddies,
say they-
the guy, not my buddy. I don't have any buddies. A guy I worked with that became a cop was a pastor at a church, and it's one of those like you kind of look like Mormons, but they're not. And then they dress the same, and they got like 19 kids, but it's like they sing and dance in there, man. Like get down, like bad white people wedding, get down.
The Baptists?
No, it's another one. I can't think of the name of the church. It's different. It's one of those different categories. But I know that
Yeah.
people stand up and scream, and they're like just yell things that don't make any sense. They got like the spirit in them. You remember the guy, and then you got the guy. Remember the guy was like whipping people with his jacket, and they were like getting the spirit. You remember what I'm talking about? There's a guy
Yeah,
that-
because they're all over YouTube.
yeah, he beats him with the jacket, man. They're like fucking going down like bowling pins, man. They
Me and
got
my
the
wife
spirit.
watch this video all the time, and he's black. I don't know if it's a black church, but the guy doing it, he's like, I feel the Lord in me. It feels like cocaine, and he's like, which I've never done.
Yeah,
You ever seen that?
dude, I like the mega church. Like, dudes, it's the old lady's like gets put on the floor because he touches her head, and she's out and shaking on the ground. Like that's good stuff, man.
I gotta look this up.
I go back to like when I was a kid, when like Tammy Faye Baker and what was in Jim Baker would come on, like the mega people. And who's the other guy? With this billion-sized church. The guy's on TV all the
The
time.
crazy guy, right?
Yeah, what is it? What's his name?
I don't know,
God.
but he looks nuts.
Yeah, he's a super reverend or whatever they call him.
Gluttony. Yeah, that's somebody just said gluttony.
They're like
Wow.
they're like
Pride, man. Pride's one of those guys that fucking comes off nuts, but he knows what he's talking about. Austin Lewan with a $5 super chat. The Mormon Church is also the wealthiest church in the world. They do some shady stuff. I know because I live in Utah.
Yeah, I've been there. It's an interesting place. I've been to Salt Lake City and all that, and then you had that like whole the Mormon housewife debacle where they're all swingers and everything. Like it's wild, dude.
Yeah, I don't. Whatever, dude. Do your thing, people.
Like I look at it like here's how I look at it. Because like back in the day, men had to hunt, or you take it all the way back to the beginning of time, and all these things that had to be done. The point was to be good person, be good to God, like obey, like all those things. I understand, but when you bring it into that building too much, and I'm not saying don't go to church. I'm just saying back in the day, like a man had to go hunt right for the village, and he might be gone for 2-3 weeks. He probably prayed while he was gone, right, and then he got back. When it starts to become money, that's where the problem lies. Like, you've seen them. Hey, pastor, the pastor passed the bucket around. The Lord's going to save you. Oh, that ain't enough money. The Lord can't save you unless you throw some more in there, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you start to get into that, it's just too much. And that's where I know we don't agree all the way, and I don't go, but I do talk a lot, and I do, I have a lot of conversations with the man upstairs, and it's like, I'm not saying that's the right thing. I'm just telling you what I do. But some places turn it into a cash cow, and you're like, no, this can't be right either. Like, you have a beautiful church, it's huge, but you're driving like a Ferrari. Like, it's like, how are you making all this money?
Yeah, so just to give you some perspective, I only have my church to go off of, and our pastor it's so hard for me not to say pasture, by the way. Every time I say it, I'm like pastor. Drives a van, like a streamlined van though, like just a basic van because he's got like fucking 5 or 6 kids. And he tells like the church, like the school's closed, like the school's not taking anybody because we are expanding so much. We have so many people coming to this church that we don't literally have enough physical property to everybody's taking their kids out of schools. The church we go to has a school program, but they're just not big enough. So there's a waiting list for it. And it's not expensive. They won't up the prices on it, but they just don't have enough time and room, or I guess more it's room than anything to expand to be able to offer the. I mean, but dude, we go to church. There's no parking. The hall's usually full. They do at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And so that's how I justify it, because you're right. It's not some guy up. But first off, my pastor is a recovering addict. He says it almost every Sunday. You know, hey, when I came here, this church saved my life 20 years ago. He's been a member of that church for 20 years. So it's not just some cash grab. But yes, somebody said it. I think it was Heather. It's just a building. Like the sense of community the church has to be. If a hurricane took down your fucking church, would everybody still show up somewhere to do church on Sunday? If the answer is yes, I think you have a solid church. If people still show up as a community to come build it, I mean, dude, I'm such a piece of shit. Every weekend, the guy, the men's church app or the men's church group text, they're out there like building people porches and shit. And I'm like, well, I'm struggling too, dog. I got to mow my lawn but you know, like it's hard, dude. Eventually I'm going to like, I'm being positively pressured.
Go to Home Depot and pick up some people and then go help them, man.
Get some of that donation money.
No, but you know, I look at that and that sounds like how it should be. I think that should all be transparent when it comes to like a church, like the money, the funds, where it's going, open. Obviously, I don't know how. I guess they target the weak. How these people end up in what's his name? Joel. What is it? Joel
Osteen.
There you go. So when you suck enough people into this massive thing, I guess it kind of grows and it's like a cult, right? And then there should never be the finances of a church, in my opinion, should never be hidden. Like that's what if you're gonna have to raise money for all that stuff. Correct. You have to run it, electric power, all the power, water, all the things. It should always be transparent. And when you see a guy start driving Ferraris and going on trips and telling you like you have to donate, and then the church becomes, the Astrodome or some fucking massive thing. That to me
he comes down on the rafters on cables.
like the Sphere in Las Vegas is the church. You're like, man, we're generating a lot of income here, but we're not seeing it, right? So that's where I look at well, and that's a problem. To me, that gives religion, and not a bad name, but that shows that they're behind the guise of religion. There are really bad people.
Yeah, because a couple months ago, our church, like before service started, it seems like 5 hours of singing, but it's only 45 minutes, but it's long. And then they go into the service where we talk about whatever part of the Bible we're on. And, and before we started the service part, he was like, hey, I'm going to take 10 minutes. We're going to do like a breakdown. He's like, I have my chief financial officer came up there. And he was like, transparency is key. So what we're spending money on. He's like, these are our goals. We want to expand the school. We want to do this. We want to do that. He's like, also, there's been a huge influx of money. You guys don't deserve to wonder where. He's like, we've had some big donations. And so transparent, you can go get it if you want. They were super transparent about like, hey, and he's like, I see a lot of people want to do more schools so he's like, hey, this is our goals for the next year. And he even said we've already met them for the rest of the year. So he's like, we're kind of like, now we're trying to figure out what to do because we met our goals in March. So, and then, dude, they send these kids. I mean, our kids went to a camp. Our youngest went to a camp all week long, which obviously you saw was hard on the broadcast because we were coming in at like 12:55. But it costed nothing. They just asked for a donation, so we gave $20, and they had like the cool. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I think you got to find the right church, like Mike's saying. And if you are a church person and you want to go for the community, look for that transparency. And
like I said, the Christ Fellowship Church is huge. It's got multiple locations. They stream online, but they're great people and they're very transparent. I grew up, like my whole family that's deceased is at one church. It's a Lutheran church right down the road, Grace Lutheran, small church, but they were also trained. My grandmother was very involved all the way up till she passed away in like the inner workings of the church. So I knew it was a good place because grandma worked there. She always kept me updated on what was happening and good people. And, that's how it should be. It should never be a money grab. And the fact that that's going on right now in America, and we watch it on YouTube every day and see these people get in the spirit and get hit with a jacket, and there's thousands of people donating thousands of dollars. Like, yeah, it's fuck, dude.
Scrubonomics said something earlier. I put it up on the screen, but I can't. But he commented again. But more and more are closing their doors year after year. They go into just maintaining the property, but the services are suspended. That's sad, dude. When any failing business is sad, but when the church is compared to a failing business, it's like that's not good. And then Christian churches are popping off and thriving, which is not trying to be some kind of organized religion where it's like political. Oh my, no, God. Jake. I read the first part and then put it up there and didn't see the second part. And then Clint earlier he was responding to us talking about multiple wives, and he said, could you imagine if all the wives teamed up against you in an argument?
Oh my God.
And then he's paid $5 to say Tyler is the guy that breaks a bigger bill with the cash in the
Hey man, can I get some change? Hey, pass it back. There's only 20s in there. Pass it back by when there's some change. Run it back by when there's some ones in there. I can get some change.
It's 2026, man. It's done through an app.
That's like when you valet the car or you tip the guy like going on the cruise and you're like, shit, I didn't break anything but 20s. You're like, hey bro, you got any change, man? Like, I hate doing it. I'm just fucking give it to him. I'm bad about that.
That is pretty embarrassing. Like you're pretty much like you're not.
I usually bring a couple thousand in cash when I go on, but sometimes I forget to go to the bank and break it down, and it's like, fuck, this dude literally grabbed my bag and put a tag on it. He doesn't fucking $20. I'm like, shit.
So the final topic, which is not surprising to anybody, is guess what happened overnight in Ukraine?
Drone strike.
Oh, you nailed it, Mike. I wonder how you got that.
I just guessed, honestly.
That's my point. So let's
Have we talked to Wyatt?
Not since this happened overnight. So can you share the screen, Eli? A major Russian attack kills 17 in Kyiv as Ukraine keeps striking Moscow's oil sector. 17 people dead. Now this is big because a lot of these airstrikes no one dies in. But Kyiv, Ukraine, Russia hammered Kyiv in a major drone and missile attack overnight into Thursday morning, killing at least 17 civilians and injuring scores more in what Moscow described as retaliation, as always, for Ukrainian strikes on oil facilities that have caused fuel shortages and put pressure on President Putin. So that is war. And I'm telling you this from experience, any type of war, it doesn't just go according to plan. Well, you struck our oil, so I struck your oil. It escalates.
Yeah.
And so when Russia justifies, well, if you're striking our oil, then you're hurting our people and you're hurting me, Putin. So therefore, I'm going to go do an equivalent attack and kill 17 innocent people. So that's how war escalates.
Do you think? I have a question. Remember when we see them Russian, those big Cold War missiles are like 9 mile long missiles they rolled out on trucks?
Yeah, back in like
Where are those? Like, it seems like these guys are like, and I'm not advocating for any death. So let me just preface this with this is partial comedy, but they're like throwing snowballs at each other. Like, if you really want to win, why don't they just like go big or go home, man? Like, I do they really have it? Is what I'm getting at. Like, do they really? Are they capable? Like, we worry about
I
all these
think
countries having nukes and having all this problem. Like, you would think at some point somebody could go, you know what? Fucking send it. Send the big one, and we're gonna knock out 27 blocks of fucking real estate.
I think
That'll
that
do it.
I think that nobody wants the pressure of going full
Then
nuclear.
what's
And I
the
know
point
you're
of
not talking
killing?
about.
What? Now, I'm not talking nuclear, but like, what's the point of? I guess what I'm saying. I don't want any war. Let me make that clear. Don't want any
I
war.
don't know if
But
you're speaking through scenario metaphorically or if you're literally
not
talking
being
about war.
no war. I'm being dead serious. Like, if I'm going to win, if I want to win, right? This is like it almost be like a UFC fight where you go, well, even though I can choke this guy out, I'm not going to choke him out. I'm just gonna submit him. I'm gonna hold him here. I'm gonna wrestle for 5 rounds instead of like I'm gonna win or I'm gonna look like I'm winning, but I'm not actually gonna win. Even though I could ground and pound him right now with elbows and like win, I'm not going to. So these little bing, 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 you hit the oil, I'll hit the building, you'll hit the. I just, if they were capable and you really wanted to win a war, I don't understand why you just wouldn't win the war. I'm not advocating for it either. I'm just talking, let's take war out of it. Let's go like a snowball fight. Now, if I can hit you in the face with a snowball and take you out, I'm going to throw it in your face and take you out, like if I'm supposed to win.
Do you think maybe Russia wants to have the land not look like fucking rubble? Like
I
most
think
of it
maybe
did?
initially, yes, but have you seen it? It's destroyed. It's done.
Like
It's like you're not
Stalingrad.
saving it. Yeah, it's like Gaza. It's gone, dude. So it's like now, if you really wanted to win, just win. And again,
I really
that is
don't think
hypothetical. I'm not saying I want to see Russia bomb or Ukraine and blow people and millions of people die, but like when the United States wanted to when the when the United States wanted to finally win World War II, they did some things. They did things. The first week of August was rough there, and
I think that and if you guys can stick with me here, and I'm not talking about just geographical wars, but I think if you drop your nuke too early and it doesn't nuke, and then you're out of nukes, and then you're like, now we got to fight a fair war.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have them. That's what I'm getting at. Like, do they really have it? I'm not talking about like you wouldn't want to nuke it. It's too close. Like we went across the world, but I don't know. Even Trump, like we dropped that one Moab his first term, right? He was like, "That's it. We're sending it," and they destruction. I don't understand the constant unless it's and then I'm going to go conspiracy unless it's obviously money driven and there's companies that are making massive amounts of money off the war and supplies and all that, and that could be very well. But I'm talking about in a game of war, like or in any game, it's like they're throwing. It's like they're playing with their pawns, right? In chess, they got the heavy hitters back there, and it's not like it just started. I know in the beginning you move your little pieces out, but at some point you're like, finish him, like the dealer does to me in blackjack, and they're like, we're going to take this dude out, finish him, and they start, whooping me. I just don't understand. Like, if Ukraine can finish him, fucking finish him, dude.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can.
And I guess Russia can't either, and they're just going to fight for what, 1,000,000 years? Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Putin's worried about his image.
No, that's what that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
Like, why doesn't he just?
He doesn't care. Everybody hates him already. Just drop the end it. Like, and I hope anybody doesn't think I'm calling for violence, but I'm just saying in a game of war, it's like you got the winning card, whatever Charizard or whatever the Pokemon garbage is, or whatever these guys play. It's like you got the winning hand in poker, and you're looking at it, and you just go, "I'm gonna fold," or I'm gonna, I'm not gonna play it. It's like I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna win. So I don't know. I think maybe we're like you said.
Do you think Putin has a huge ego, and
he
makes bad decisions in his war strategy because of his ego?
Yeah, he's definitely an ego guy. So there was other guys that had egos that made bad decisions as well.
I've been talking about a metaphorical scenario for the past 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been not talking about
I'm just saying, there's other guys that had bad egos that cause them to lose, right? But
Yeah.
What is the point of this at this point? Like I just don't know. I don't know. They've already destroyed everything, right? It's all knocked down. It's destroyed. So,
all right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We got a few guests lined up. Obviously, the usuals. We got Dominic Izzo coming in. I want to break down some videos with you guys. If we don't have,
I have two good videos.
I have two as well, sent from listeners. It's this page that the guy hates cops. Like, he's not an auditor. Like, he fucking calls them pigs, and he breaks down videos and he screams into the camera. Apparently, he's a pretty popular page, but he does harp on some issues like that. I could see with the public being like, well, is that necessary? As a cop, you can break it down and go, absolutely. Like, 4 dudes fighting a guy who's still fighting. A dog is the same use of force as a taser. So you absolutely can have the dog start biting on the guy's leg and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we'll be right back with Dominic Izzo. We'll break down some videos.
Over a century ago in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundation, re-engineered medical education from a holistic, whole-body approach, which appropriately treated the body as an interconnected system, to a compartmentalized approach under the guise of specialized medicine. They shut down or consolidated medical schools, marginalized naturopathic, homeopathic, and chiropractic medicine, replacing them with symptom management and synthetic drugs. Allopathy is a marketing strategy rooted in fear and manipulated science. This philosophy carried into veterinary medicine, resulting in over-vaccination, unnecessary surgeries, and manufactured food, just like they did for people. They call it care, but it's predatory and based in profitability. The truth? Toxicity, compromised immunity, and chronic inflammation. They're not fate. They're engineered. And so is your power to undo them. We built 3 targeted formulas to return the body to homeostasis, for pets and people. To detox, defend, and restore. We are the correction to decades of corruption. We are vengeance.
Sorry, I was fucking jamming to the Vengeance song.
Yeah,
The show is
good stuff.
also brought to you by Crave. Go to trycrave.com and use promo code ANTIR15. Save 15% on your gummies. Crave is thriving right now. We got with Crave, and just since in the past 6 months when we got with them, you guys definitely put them. Were a huge contributor in them moving up. And I'm very proud of them. They're doing things very well, and they're putting it to their competitors. But you need creatine to build muscle and to have strength. And the days of powdered creatine are over. Gummies are now where it's at. They're super convenient. They're very affordable, and they taste way better. So don't go with any other company, because Crave is the only company that puts out their lab triple tested that there's actually the amount of creatine that they say there is in each gummy. So go to trycrave.com, use promo code ANTIR15, save 15%, log or sign up for a subscription, save even more money, get your monthly creatine, and if you don't like it, they have a full money back guarantee.
And they just improved the blue raspberry. I'm patiently waiting. I'm getting 2 blue raspberry and 2 green apple. Should be here any day. I'm excited about that.
I don't like. I love blue and red. I just
You don't like
do
green?
not like green
I like
apple.
sour stuff.
I
Yeah.
ate it. Well, it's the one we have at home right now that's open, so I'm eating it. But I'm not a green apple fan. Period. Go ahead and throw up that goon tape, Eli.
Don't forget to go to goontape.com. Use code ANTIR15 for 15% off. Goon Tape provides the softest no-slip grip for the tools you count on most. Our premium Raid Tape improves felt recoil, wicks moisture, and covers attachment rails so you can stay on target and in the fight. Even when the work gets wet, it gets grippy when it's wet. It's made proudly in America. So raid responsibly and go to goontape.com. Use code ANTIR15 for 15% off. And I got one other thing I got to show everybody.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at
No,
this
it's badass.
massive.
Badass.
Massive amount of tape. It is the premier tape for literally everything.
Look at
Our
this shit.
flag, huh?
Oh my god, dude. Our fucking people, man. Look at the picture, dude. Look at the picture.
Fucking, dude,
These guys, man. These
if you're
fucking guys.
if you're listening, somebody just dropped a live comment. So if you're listening right now, go jump onto YouTube at like 54 and a half minutes in and go look at the
We have a new fan, new screen name, and a new it's pretty good. Real good.
But yeah, dude, I mean, this tape, we taped up our flag because our flag kept flying out and it lasted during a tropical storm. It's really good tape, whether you're not using it for sports, workout equipment, but obviously the primary feature is guns. So get yourself some goon tape, sell them out again if you can. They're very appreciative of our fan base, just like Crave is.
Drum roll. I have the honor today for you guys to be the first people to see the new website is up, live, and active at copvilleog.com, courtesy of Jay. This website is better than I could have ever imagined. It's organized. It looks good. It's got Jerry the Goon on there. It's got Jordan Ennis. It's got all the products and the new products. As you see, it's moving around. There's your 4 new patches. It's all categorized well, and it's officially live today. So you guys are the first ones to see it. Go to copvilleog.com. Check it out. It's been
Nice. That looks good.
Those guys are amazing. Jay did an amazing job, worked so hard on the website, got everything done. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how we're lucky enough to have these kind of people we have in our network and friends of ours, but we are very lucky. And
they're awesome people.
It's launched today. So go buy some shit from copvilleog.com.
I don't want to know who
I don't
this one is because I like to play the game of the screen name that I don't see anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure out who we stop seeing.
But the dedication of these guys is awesome. Just awesome. So
we have a guest. You ready? We haven't seen him. Did we see him last week?
Is he out of rehab? He looks like it.
No, I'm still in rehab.
Even the suit on a personal vacation trip, he's got the suit on. Professional.
No, it's work. It's a work trip, so it is what it is. Thanks.
Really?
Yeah, I do work out here.
Oh, it's
Look,
business.
he's working right now.
Did you catch the story of the female with the spray? The vest spray that got put on the news? Did you see it?
I didn't.
Yeah, you did. We talked about it.
It is so overwhelming.
The Kissimmee cop.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, no, I didn't. I mean, I think I've seen stuff from them before, but no.
We had a female that made the news again. They finally, and hopefully this keeps continuing. We covered it yesterday, I believe. She was making TikToks in her uniform, advertising for Arrest My.
Oh, hawking.
Yeah. And the news in Orlando blasted her all over the news and social media for basically making money in her uniform, and
that's every single department. Well, how is it allowed? Every single department has a policy that if you're going to have a secondary employment, you need to have approval from the chief of police. You want to go work security at some venue, not even in uniform, in a black T-shirt and a pair of jeans, you have to get approval from the chief of police. It shows you, and I've said this a million times, what TikTok did was it presented an opportunity for these people to have their voices now heard. So I go online and I talk about, my Muslim faith, my LGBTQ this, or maybe I'm in network marketing and I've got the best hair care product on the planet. No one cares. But the second I'm in a squad car with a uniform on, my audience completely grows because, oh, look, it's a cop. These people are not becoming law enforcement for the sake of the profession. They're becoming law enforcement to further their agenda, whatever it is. So it is, people have said, and I'll say this, I am a narcissist. It fuels to the narcissistic ego of people, and it does. But when you're in that echo chamber of what people are used to now, of social media, law enforcement having that uniform and badge just skyrockets you into the next stratosphere for attention.
Yes. And I think the fact that because TikTok pays money better than Instagram, better than Facebook, even the use of the uniform, you're generating income, right? You're using uniform,
Secondary employment.
generating secondary employment. I don't think people understand how bad TikTok is. I go months without opening it, and then my wife will finally send me one, and I'll be like, "Oh God, I know this is going to happen." I'll open it. I'll be like, "What a joke!" And then I scroll, and I'm stuck. It's 25, 30, 35 cops in a row, all doing the same thing, all doing it, and I just don't understand how it's being allowed.
You ever notice the ones of them who are on duty streaming live?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I do it all the time. I'll type in, what does your command staff say about this? Why are you streaming live on duty? And I'll get blocked. But the new trend, and you started to call this out, was the spouses, because they're not doing it, but all of a sudden my spouse, my wife, my cop wife is, here's my husband. He gets home from work, and I got to make sure his dinner's ready. So I open my bathrobe and make sure, he looks like I'm naked. They do this all the time, and a lot of them are the stay-at-home moms who are involved in the sales business as well too, and they're using their husbands. I don't know how that's still allowed.
I saw one the other day, and I know it went bad. The wife and the kids were in the police car driving home, and she made a video about how her husband stopped to put his traffic vest on and get out and do something on a call. And everybody started commenting, is the agency policy allow you guys to be in a family in a car? And very quickly that video disappeared. So they're so delusional that they forget that, they're not even thinking about it anymore. I've been hammering a couple of the police wives that are doing that dumb stuff, but I don't know how the money thing is not becoming more of an issue, and that the news isn't covering it more and agencies aren't covering it more.
The uniform's a prop. That's all it is. It's a costume and a prop. That's all it is for these kids.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I thought you didn't enjoy
Tyler, looking pretty swole over there, man, lately. That's creatine's kicking in hard.
Thanks, man. On a network where everybody makes fun of me, Dominic is the only one that compliments me.
Dude, I see your stuff. You're putting in the work. What's going on, man? Jacked and tan. That's what you got to go for.
I'd rather be tan no matter what. My theory is the tanner you are, the better whatever body you're rocking is going to look better tan. So it's better than looking pasty white.
Agreed.
I'm digging the carnivore, dude. I'm digging it.
I incorporated some rice back in just pre and post workout, because I was like, okay, I'm not pushing the weight I used to, so it's doing all right. But again, too, I'm not overloading it.
Mine's going up. I told you I'm in that program.
I know, man.
3 weeks. It's a good program. It's doing a lot of block work, like 3-board, 2-board, a lot of band work.
Jeez.
I'm going to put 405 up at 50 years old.
I believe you. That's
die under the bar. I'm going to die under the bar. One or the other.
You've already got strength. So now you're putting in technique, and you're putting in technique behind it. That's a huge game changer. And then explosive power. If you ever look at the block work and everything else, is like Olympic lifters. Olympic lifters don't look big, but they understand the explosiveness. I don't know if it's fast twitch or slow twitch muscle fibers. And then you get that in sync with the technique. That's why these guys are like 140 pounds lifting overhead, like the snatch and the clean and press, like 600 pounds over their head. Is insane.
Yeah, the stamina wise is I got these workouts now. They're 3 sets of like 250 of 10, and it's like insane. It's insane. But it's like it's going up, and I'm like, geez, like this is stamina wise. But Tyler is looking jacked. I saw him the other day. He took his shirt off the other day, and it was like, all right, I see where he's going with this. I'm losing.
Thanks,
I'm coming down a little bit. The carnivore's kicked in. I'm on the what do they call those things? Peptides, we'll call them.
How are your joints with that?
I feel the technique has fixed the joints as well. I'm telling you, that little tweak in the he says scapula back, you rotate your shoulders back, you get that chest puffy. And the other thing is, when you're pulling the weight down, a lot of guys bounce, right? They let it fly down and then hoist it back up. He explains that you imagine you're pulling the weight off the ceiling down to your chest, so that muscle never relaxes. And then you pause and you go right back up. So that my joints have felt great. The peptides are helping the joints. And I literally saw my abs this morning for the first time.
Ooh.
It was one of those where my time hop was 6 years ago, and I was going through, and I'm like, look at that. And then I looked this morning when I got up, like 2:03, and I'm like, holy shit.
If I angle it just right, I can crunch the fat enough to make it look like there's some lines in my midsection.
No, I never get a 6-pack. I have a 4-pack, so I can see the 4 of them, and they're back.
I can see my dick. That's all I care about.
For a while, I couldn't. That was really bad. There was an 8-pack down there, and there was nothing. So it was. I'm back to seeing it again.
Oh, Tyler, you're still in your 30s, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm almost out. I'm 38 now. 38
you got a ways to go before you're like, man, I had a dick somewhere. Where'd that go?
What's that called? A dicky do?
I don't know. It's too fucking. It's called I gave up. It's called I gave up on life and fucking I embarrassed myself.
See, Mike gets a 6-pack, but he still can't see his dick.
I just said that.
I know. I was just referencing it.
All right, you're just making sure.
Anti-hero broadcast where you'll get the most premium conversations on the internet.
Look at our height thing here.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a lie.
It's more like this if I was there.
Yeah, I got one video sent to us. I haven't watched it yet. I didn't know if you guys would want to break it down.
Why not?
Most likely you guys have seen it, but it's this guy, Delete Laws with a Z. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Guys, yep. Let me explain something. That's Chili DeCastro. Chili DeCastro, I think he was an actor. He had something to do with the Power Rangers. Chili DeCastro, I will say this. He is an extremely intelligent man. He is extremely intelligent. He's a self-educated constitutional expert. And when he speaks, he knows the Constitution. I did a podcast with him back in 2022. He is a piece of shit human being. The man has one of the largest First Amendment auditor channels on the internet. He could, if he wanted to, be one of the most powerful changes for law enforcement and education. But instead, he is, take the guys who instigate cops, he takes it to the 100th degree just for YouTube sensation. I don't have an ounce of fucking respect for him simply because he has got the golden goose of education, of know-how, of ability, and he chooses to abuse it, and it's a fucking disgrace. Not to mention the fact he sues cops for a living, to make money. There's a video of him crying in court when the judge gave him a conviction that ultimately was overturned. But he's a pussy. I can't stand him.
I think he broke down your video.
Probably. He keeps trying to get on my podcast again, and I have no desire whatsoever to entertain or platform him, simply because if you watch his content, all he does is he'll call cops, you dunce cap, you pig, and he does not ever come into contact with cops saying, hey, listen, all right, now that I got that out of the way, I insulted you, and I try to provoke you to see what kind of reaction I get. This is what I'm all about doing. I want to see if I can educate you guys. It's like having a cure for cancer, and instead of going ahead and educating everybody, he would rather have more people get cancer just to prove he's right that he has the cure. Okay. I don't respect him at all.
Actually, I don't want to break down his video. I'm sorry. I have one of yours that I do want to break down. But we broke it down a long time ago. It was that remember that scuffle where that cop did everything right and the black female cop said, yo, back away. And he was like,
yeah,
tell me
Tyson Crutchfield.
I did not know all of this backstory that you covered about what happened after that on, like the lawsuit she lost. So I was going to play that real quick. All right, hold on.
I tried to get her on a podcast a couple of years ago. That's all she does is podcasts and play the victim. So.
All right. Can you put it up, Eli? Okay.
Well, Pasadena police officer is now suing her own department over discrimination.
Tyson Crutchfield says that she was punished after trying to de-escalate a situation back in February, and she believes it's because she's black.
Well, Chauncey, these are some serious claims against the Pasadena Police Department, from discrimination to fellow officers saying racial slurs and then being promoted.
Straight up. He shouldn't be on the streets.
Punished for taking action because of the color of her skin. That's what the father of Pasadena police officer Tyson Crutchfield says happened in February. In body camera footage released of the incident, you see several officers around a teen on the left. Crutchfield says one of them pushed the teen's face into a cactus, but the department says that's not what the video shows. She says she later tried to gently push the officer away to de-escalate the situation, and she was ordered to return to the station.
Yeah, you know why? No, don't sit here and back the story up now. Story up now. Don't do that. Story up now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that in the streets. Straight up. He shouldn't be on the streets. Straight up. He shouldn't be on the streets. He shouldn't be on the streets. And I'm definitely letting no boy know. Walk away. AirPods in my phone.
Hey, get in the car. Get in the car. Crutchfield. I haven't even done shit. Over here. You go over there. I haven't even done shit.
Go back to the station right now. Wait a minute. When am I getting in the car?
Crutchfield. Go back to the station.
I'm waiting.
Hi, everyone.
So you know what I
Tyson
noticed
Crutchfield.
right now is that no matter what skin color you are, the ridiculous amount of makeup, lashes, and hair and fake shit can make any female look exactly the same.
Yzma.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Yzma. You know who Yzma is?
No.
She's the villain in Emperor's New Groove, the most underrated Disney movie in history of Disney movies. But go ahead.
You're Miss Cosmo, Idaho, USA. Growing up as a track and field Division I college athlete, I learned quickly what being resilient truly meant. When I had to end my college career due to a knee injury, I knew my calling was to protect and serve my community. Now, as a police officer, I'm able to contribute to bridging the gap and building a healthy relationship with the people I serve. Being a minority and a female in a male-dominant career has had its challenges.
I can't anymore. I
No,
can't.
please stop. Thank you.
I cannot. How embarrassing is it for that supervisor in the middle of a call to have to do what he did and not focus on the person who's being detained and having their rights taken away from him? He has to stop monitoring that and go, because at the end of the day, I'll say it, it seemed like she was kind of pulling a black thing and saying, yo, walk away because a black person was being arrested. Like, she's down for the cause. And the most divisive thing, I think that's the most divisive video I've ever seen in real time or at an actual scene of that. It was appalling.
Unless somebody is getting the shit beat out of them, you don't ever, and I've said this is one of the biggest problems I have with female cops on scenes, is as a cop, you could hate, maybe I've only done this twice in my career. You go back to the Sally Port and you say, you ever fucking put me in that position again, and you and I are going to have a big fucking problem. But on scene, you always back your partner up. Unless they are going to kill someone, beating the shit out of them, you never do what she fucking did. And so that was a female thing. That's the biggest problem I have with females, is they have to act like they're, no, just walk away. If that was a guy and somebody walked up, that guy would have been either laid out or he would have been just shoved off to the side. That cop, that cop on scene displayed an incredible amount of tolerance for her.
Yeah, she went up and pushed him. You're gonna put your hands on me?
Nope.
To do that. And that had nothing to do with what color she was. And that would have happened.
No, that was female.
Anybody. If it was a dude, like you said, it probably would have ended in a fist fight at some point. And before Dom goes, I want to read something to Dom that's going on in Florida. I don't think you've talked about this yet, Tyler. We haven't. Dominic, I want you to look up Florida House Bill 1001, HB 1001.
Is this a Jew bill?
No. Filed official actions of local governments with 2020 bill. It's restricting counties, any municipalities in Florida from engaging in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. The state of Florida has a House bill that is going to stop agencies from being allowed to participate in DEI hires, and I think that's a good thing. It's kind of snuck up on me. I didn't see it. Somebody sent it to me today, but it says that it prohibits counties and municipalities from funding, promoting, or taking official action related to DEI, voids certain local ordinances and policy rule changes that conflict with the law, prohibits local governments from maintaining DEI offices or employing DEI officers. So Florida is taking a stand that standards matter, not DEI, which I think is an amazing, amazing initiative. And I'm pretty proud to be in Florida right now with the way things are going. Yeah.
Well done.
House Bill 1001, no DEI, pro merit, anti-DEI.
Yeah, sort
I
of.
think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
All right, before I go, don't forget diltsforsheriff.com. Diltsforsheriff.com. If you are not supporting monetarily or even sharing content, you're a communist and you actually don't give a shit about what you claim you do in the comment section. Legitimately, 100%. Go over to diltsforsheriff.com. It's going to be one of the main focuses of Cop Talk Live and my work for the next, until the election. We will get this man elected. And then everybody tell Tyler how swole he looks. He's getting all jacked and juicy.
Thank you, Dominic.
Dominic, go catch Dominic. Dominic is Instagram, Cop Talk Live on YouTube. See you soon, bud.
How about that house bill, dude? How about that house bill?
That is pretty cool.
Yep.
It is pretty cool. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, I just got it sent to me this morning.
All right, sound check. Sound check. Can you hear us, Ryan?
Check, radio check. Yes.
Nice. How was your vacation?
Beautiful, spiritual reset. So grateful to have traveled and so glad to have returned home. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah. I know you might not want to talk about a particular place, but can you talk about like where you went? Did you stay in the country? Did you go to another part of the state?
Well, I did leave the country. I went to the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation that's located in about central west North Dakota.
Okay.
That
so
sounds like a
you
cool
left
place
stolen land just for a little bit to go.
You went to real land.
To a place where the United States extracts 25% of its domestically harvested oil from the Fort Berthold Indian Reservation.
I remember talking to you about that because we were like, is it ethical to go, well, you got somebody bent over a barrel, hands tied, and you go, well, you want me to cut that off for you? Like, well, yeah, I guess if you're offering to help me, I'll take that, because we were arguing, well, could it be perceived as we're paying for all this and we're giving them all this, and you're like, well, it's the only thing that we give them, and we took away so much that it's almost like insulting. But because that was my argument, is that we're buying all of it from them. So
no, this is a good thing that you're bringing up, and thank you so much for digging into it a little bit deeper. There's this famous photograph. The tribes that occupy Fort Berthold are the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara people, these three affiliated tribes. And there's this image of the MHA chair of the council signing the law that allowed for the building of the dam, the Garrison Dam that dams like the Missouri River there. And he's in tears, right? You could see it. He's clearly grief stricken. And from what I learned, last week from this photograph is because the U.S. was going to build this dam and flood. This is where everyone lived in the lowlands near, adjacent to the river, and so this was going to flood sacred burial sites. This was flooding villages where people have lived for a millennia, and clearly grief stricken. This man. And it was because the U.S. was going to build the dam, they were going to do, and so they could basically sign it and get something, or not sign it and get nothing. And so this is
that sounds pretty American.
The art of the deal in the United
that sounds
States.
like, what's it called when the government's going to take your land no matter
Eminent
what?
domain.
Eminent domain.
And they're like, well, we give them such a great price, and like it depends on if you're looking at it at monetary value, like, oh yeah, they're giving way over market value, but at the end of the day, it's like, or we can just take it and give you nothing, so you're losing it no matter what.
Right. And from a psychological perspective, losing a home is roughly the equivalent of losing a child. And so a lot of us in 2018 became landless rent peasants because we were foreclosed from these predatory financing schemes. And there's been a lot of grief and trauma from that experience for the entire nation.
Tell me about the trip. Wildlife? You see like elk?
And I cannot
elk or
hear
anything?
you, Michael.
Oh, you
so
can't hear
I'm
me?
going to excuse myself and come right back.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Shows you how little
Next
I
time we do a
talked.
mic check, I got to make sure he can hear me and you.
Yeah, I thought I said hello, but he probably didn't hear me, so he didn't know I didn't or not say it. We thought he could hear us, but we didn't.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we got to go one at a time. Can you hear
There he
me?
is.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So like animals, wildlife. I'm a huge fan of like elk and all. Did you see all that kind of stuff? Moose. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Okay, that's all I really cared about. I love my love for animals is probably beyond everybody's wildest dream. So I always think like I want to go up there and see like all that cool stuff. Anybody who hunts those animals is a moron too, by the way.
Well, I'm sorry. I think I missed the front part of whatever you said that
Elk,
talked about
like elk, moose,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
animal. Was it? Do you see a lot of that stuff? Is that out there where you're at?
No, I saw I think muley deer. I
Okay.
saw wild horses. I
Okay.
saw a lot of beautiful birds. An actual chick and eggs were nested in our Sundance Arbor, so it was beautiful. And we did have an elk dancer, and so yeah, these animals do have a lot of sacred representation,
So
and
you're
really
actually
it's
you're staying on like a reservation and you're like living like they live and all that stuff. That's pretty cool.
put up
I like it.
TPs. This community was more agricultural, so they built what's called earth lodges, which are more semi-permanent structures, cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and it was the women that built these historically. So I think that's important when we hear a lot of conversations about gender in this
Does that
podcast.
constitute as our backyard or no?
Well, the entire United States, also known as Turtle Island, is the backyard of
But
the
you
Native
said
American
when you
Indian.
started this conversation, you said you left the United States to make a point. So do
Totally,
we count it
right?
the United States?
And there's this weird liminal space, right? The space in between, right? Where these are the original stewards of this land, and ICE is harassing Native people all over the country, right? So this is definitely something that's important for us to keep talking about as citizens of the United States to kind of reconcile this original sin of indigenous genocide and displacement and dispossession.
Well, can I ask you your opinion? Speaking of displacement and unwelcome guests, we sounded pretty alt-right leaning when we started the podcast because us the common sense is I don't know, you've been gone. The what's it called? The Supreme Court put out a bunch of rulings, I think like last week. One of them was ending the aid for it's called the TPS, temporary protected status for Syrians and Haitians. And the argument was, well, our healthcare industry is going to suffer because so many Haitian women are nurses. I wanted your take on that because me and Mike argue logic, and we're like, listen, dude, there's no jobs here. There are but I said it earlier. The boasting of 4 years ago about how job market skyrocketed. I don't know if they're not covering it now or we just haven't caught up statistically. It is sucking for jobs in this country right now. And giving them till they're not illegals because they're here on a protected status, but giving them to people who aren't citizens and then the citizens not being able to get jobs, to me, is almost like people coming in here and taking our resources. What's your comparison to coming in and taking things that aren't yours? Or since we're on stolen land now, is it free for everybody to just kind of do their thing?
Yeah, I think this is a good question. We got to talk about like labor relations. I think that's why I'm here. And I just want to invite you to like Google AI billboards in San Francisco, right? The entire sort of population of billboards in San Francisco is AI related. One of them says, hire agents, not humans, and shows this bio lady, right? And so let's not allow this era of mass labor displacement, right? Mass layoffs because of this AI sort of upsurge to misinform us that this is because immigrants are taking our jobs. No, there it is, right? Stop hiring humans. Hire Ava. Okay. Look, they misspelled hiring also, but anyways.
I think that they're pointing out that when you hire a human, there's mistakes, and I think they're making a joke like a human would make a mistake,
Very well.
and AI would not.
Hey, good art interpretation there. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Ryan, I'm on the same side as you. I think AI is it's to take away graphic designers. I'm sure you know tons of artists, graphic designers that are struggling due to AI, and that's just the one job I personally know somebody in that is having to compete with perfection. But when you have perfection, and I'll let you go right back into what you're talking about, but that billboard reminded me of it. Perfection takes out the human touch. So how are you going to market to people without a human touch when you're just talking business?
And it's, certainly not not perfect, all these systems, but I just want to like uplift that it seems reasonable and rational that the alt-right or this, mask off moment in American fascism, that we're going to blame this technologically induced innovation that involves labor displacement. We're going to say, oh, that's not it. It's the immigrants. It's the Syrians and the Haitians. Oh, and by the way, hey, average American that has the literacy of a 7th grader and, barely got through high school. Yeah, it's this like highly trained, specialized immigrant, right, that went to grad school and things like that, that's taking your job, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this disconnect, and let's be honest, the healthcare industry in the United States there's labor shortages, right? We need immigrant labor. We need labor from all over the world to fill these roles so that our nurses, our doctors, right, our mental health professionals aren't quote unquote burnt out because all of these roles that are left unfulfilled because the US workforce has been undertrained and underdeveloped.
The AI. I mean, you're my age. I remember watching. I suggest all of youth watch Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Pick your Judgment Day. Religious, AI, doesn't matter what it is. It's happening, and that movie. The memes are amazing because they're like, has nobody seen Terminator 2: Judgment Day? Like, literally, we're handing over everything to artificial intelligence. That's what, and it happened in the movie 2029.
Great point, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
I hate it because like most of the phone calls you get now are AI generated, and that's just it's the worst. Like I was working a little while at that restaurant, and it was like you answer the phone, and now AI is making dinner reservations for people, and you don't have to do anything. And I think that goes to Ryan's argument about billionaires, people that can afford to employ thousands of these robots and servers that replace humans. Where do the humans go? Like, where do the humans go when there's no more jobs? And it's like, I get the immigration thing's a problem. People come across, that's my opinion. But also when you unemploy mass thousands and tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of Americans, you're kind of creating the same problem. Where do they go? So now not only are you fighting the immigration part of people coming in with that argument, but you're okay with, well, we don't want them coming in because they're not going to do anything. But you're also mass unemploying hundreds of thousands of people that were already here. And then they're like, well, where do I go? Like, it's not like you can just downgrade either. It's like you lose your house, you get evicted, like Ryan talks about, you get thrown out on the street. And then it's like, now what do I do? I would challenge anybody to take your family, move out front right now, give up your whole home, and then rebuild your entire life from that moment forward. I bet the success rate is very, very low. Even if you have some savings, where do you start? Where do you start over? No jobs for anybody, no gas money. You got a little bit of money in the bank, and now start, ready, go. And like get yourself off the curb back to a normal place. That's going to be probably impossible for most people. But as you can see, it's happening. Obviously, it's happening every day with AI replacing people.
I want to ask Ryan. Ryan has really opened my eyes to nothing about communism whatsoever, but irony in our way of thinking. And as much as I do love it for the next decade of our blue collar boys out there, any young man going into blue collar work, we all agree that blue collar work is essential. The boom for blue collar work for building AI data processing centers. It's great, but it's like, hey, I'm going to fucking kill you in 5 years. But for the next 5 years until I kill you, I'm going to give you a lot of money. It's like, okay, I guess I'll take that deal.
Yes, yeah.
And the more irony part of it is that blue collar and farmland people and farmers and all that stuff come from the same mindset, I think, real American roots. And farmers are getting, from what I understand, are getting screwed over in this AI data processing deal. And the blue collar industry is like, sucks for those farmers, but woo, let me get my certificate. Let me go out there and work, you know? It's the irony. I don't really think there's anything we can do about it. And I'm not saying blue collar people shouldn't take money for jobs that they need, but it is ironic.
Yeah. And wait until eventually they're putting sensors in your work boots, work gloves, and in your helmet that are going to be able to track your movements, right? Replicate what those craftsperson's hands do, and outsources that information to Boston Dynamics, where they make these robots that can break dance and do backflips. So that I don't even think blue collar jobs will be safe very much longer.
And look what happens when you stand up. My wife brought up a good point. Our oldest son is entering. He's an apprentice for to get whatever an electrician degree. You got to do like 2 years, whatever. The company he works for as an apprentice, they're losing guys because the owner refuses to do unethical things like build AI data processing centers. So they're losing the guys from the company that are going, well, I'm going to go work for this company who is offering that work. So even if you stand up and do what's right, you're going to suffer because the people that need the money and the food and need to, it is
absolutely. Under capitalism, working class folks often have to trade our labor for wages in ethical, unethical ways, or that conflict our ethics, and that's where moral injuries come from. And it may be our obligation to give whoever that construction company is maybe some free airtime in terms of an advertisement, right? Let's send that person some traffic for ethical referrals, right? That could help sustain their business, reattract their workforce, and then boycott the construction companies that are building these data centers.
Damn, man, you just put the ball in my court and held me responsible for my duty. It's fair, Ryan. I cannot fault you for that. I will put my money
vote with our dollars, right? And listen, I think Michael asked a good sort of hypothetical question, right? What is to happen next in terms of this labor displacement? Will we be seeing us landless rent peasants as super important to the world, and will be provided things like universal basic income? Will be provided with more time off, more leisure time to explore our creative pursuits or our passions? Or do you think we'll be viewed as surplus populations, disposable populations that can be either put into labor camps, or just eliminated?
Yeah.
What do you think is more likely?
Eliminated probably is the most likely answer. If I was going to write a movie, or if I was going to design it that way, if I could create a program,
call it our realistic future. And that's what the movie.
If I could write a program that eliminates the need for 100,000 people and take all that money in myself, most humans are going to do most humans are going to do that don't care. They just want to be powerful. And then you start to get into the problem, like you said. I guess it goes back to my stray dog comment, my stray dog analogy, with how many really dogs are in shelters. Eventually you're gonna have people, and you're just gonna be like, we don't need all these people. Like, we don't need them. We can do everything without people anymore. And then at some point, though, if that continues, just keep going with me, go like all the way out in the billions of stars. Eventually, like 5 people are left controlling a bunch of robots somewhere way down the line. And it's like, what are they here for? What is the fun? Is there any entertainment? What is the reason to live anymore? So it's like, what, almost like
greed.
But at some point they're the only one left, right? We lose, humanity's gone. Like, there's no reproduction. Men are
have our
sheds running their thing. They're not interacting with women anymore. They're not having sex anymore. They're completely bent on making money. At some point, you're done. Like that last white rhino in Africa dies, right? Like we've lost extinction of animals, that last human or that last group of people. So you can almost, if you're here for the right reasons and religion and God and all those things that everybody is praying to, you can almost you can create something too good that ruins society, right? The effectiveness is too good, or you've taken what we were really here for, which is enjoy each other, go on vacation, whatever it may be happy, create families. You've taken all that away from everybody, and now it's so greedy and money hungry that eventually it goes away. And I think we're already seeing that. Kids are like, people are less. We're talking about the issue with reproduction is down. Like, babies aren't being born at the same rate. People aren't interacting. We've already seen it. This thing right here has caused people to not be able to talk to each other. Eventually, it's going to be on a mass level where it's like you barricade yourself in a house and like a little thing opens and somebody slides a cheeseburger in, you shut it, and you just sit there like for months.
Get away from me.
Yeah, it's going to create a society of that. And at some point, it's like even the rich and greedy, like Elon Musk, eventually he's going to be lonely. Like he's going to have so much AI around him, so much technology around him that he's just going to sit and be like, what do I do now? Like, I've ruined society. Everybody's gone. Like, everything's dead. Like, that will happen, I believe, at some point. If you go like light years out and look ahead.
This is as deep as I've ever seen Mike get with.
Well, just think about it. Like, you can make something so effective. Sense. It's so good.
It works too good.
It works too good, or it creates an entire alternate society where people are no longer needed at all. Like that movie you're talking about is true. Like, eventually it's like, where's the joy? There's no parks left. There's no fishing left. You don't do anything like that anymore. Your fish comes through a hole in the door and you just eat it. Like, you've taken everything away. And now it's just a police state, like police state, like no one goes out. It's just a bad movie. It sounds like a bad movie, right? And that's what I think we're really headed towards. We've gotten away from just, and that's where I think Ryan's right about like the Indian culture. And back then it was like, it's what it was. They lived for each other. The system was, you do this for me, I do that for you. There's no money. It was just, we're surviving together as a group. And we got sucked into this Disneyland entertainment, internet, it's, when you break it down at the core, a lot of things Ryan says are accurate, right? Are accurate. When it comes to the financial side of things, I agree with him, and the banks and the control, I believe that a lot of that is accurate.
And I imagine there's people in the audience. Thank you also for the generous concessions. I do think we can agree on more than we disagree. And I had an early conversation with the ChatGPT when OpenAI converted from a non-profit model to a for-profit model. And I was asking this thing, what would this technology look like in a capitalist container that it currently sits in? And what's our projections of the future? And what could this technology do if the container was a more communist, socialist container? And what that might look like for the future and for the population. And so I just want to invite y'all to do that yourselves. See where that conversation goes, right? And see what vision of the future you want more, right? And Mike, I do want to just say, I came into the tail end of a conversation that was around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Mm-hmm. Would it be okay to tap in on that just a little bit?
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
I heard there's this new
Florida's passing a House bill that they're eliminating the government agencies from being able to use that as like a hiring practice.
To use what exactly?
To use DI. They're basically saying you have to go with pro merit, not DI is what they're going for, like the most qualified person.
And I think I do want to just invite us to use the full diversity, equity, and inclusion when we're in this conversation, and avoid abbreviating it with the acronym to say that I'm anti-diversity, or I'm anti-equity, or I'm anti-inclusion. It's something I think we sounds different, and we need to kind of give it the full weight, if this is really what we believe in. But I'll tell you this, right? Real quick. This is where I agree with you again. I think we agreed, because a liberal wants diversity, equity, and inclusion in these systems of power, right? Where a communist, a socialist, wants to dismantle the power system and redistribute it to the people, right? Because there's this idea called tokenization, tokenism, right? And just because we put a few diverse faces in these racialized policing, for example, that's not going to lead us to liberation, right? Maybe you've seen the meme of the bomber where one bomber is just whatever, the don't tread on me flag, all the right wing sort of images. And the other bomber has the pride flag and the Black
It
Lives
says
Matter
it
flag.
really doesn't matter what it's decorated as.
Right. So DEI is a liberal institution, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And if you believe in incrementalism, sure, this could incrementally get our way toward liberation, maybe. But a communist socialist wants to abolish the carceral racial policing system and provide liberation for all of the people.
Let me ask you this before you leave. The concept, and I think we have to bring it all the way back to elementary school thinking. Participation trophy concept. You know exactly what I'm talking about, the participation trophy. Believe it or not, I'm not that hard on young children getting trophies. So we're not creating savage, animalistic children at 6 that risk everything, all of their emotion on winning or it's over. But the participation trophy mindset, do you think that everyone needs to be included in everything in that? Or do you think hard work deserves recognition and more reward?
My undergrad was in business, and business in the capitalist construct is based on competitive advantage. And isn't this what trophies are, right? Outcomes of competition.
Yeah.
And if we are going to live, and provide an earth that's a livable future for the next little league generations to come, we are going to have to convert towards cooperative and collaborative advantage.
So you did answer my question but you did kind of make sense. You made sense.
Let's keep it real, right? What's more a participation trophy than a good conduct medal in the military? What's more participation trophy than...
He's not wrong. That's why I don't ever tell people I have those, because they're pretty much given to you if you don't fuck up after 3 years.
Hey, but let's go all the way to the other side of the spectrum, okay? What's more participation trophy than a medal of honor for a dishonorable occupation and intervention?
Oh, all right. Yeah, you made me a good clip for Instagram. I'll say that. But you just kind of blew my mind a little bit, because I'm sitting here wanting businesses to work, and you're absolutely right. With the definition of a successful business is what you just said. Whether you agree with it or not, that's what they teach in business. It's cutthroat, and only the strongest survive. And if you're not strong enough, you're absorbed or bought or completely ruined. So yes, maybe if you want to be good at business, you need to win those trophies. Again, not saying that's what you're saying is right, but if you want to be good at something, it makes sense. Okay.
Well, we just got to convert from this greed, right? Because the outcome of capitalism is Vanguard, State Street, BlackRock owning everything, as they do now, right? And so just to kind of go back to this paradigm shift in Native American Indian communities, not speaking for all as a monolith, of course, but our measurement, our metric is not by what we possess, but it's by what we've given away. There's a whole ceremony called Wopila that the Lakota people do. It's one of their sacred ceremonies. That's a giveaway. And even for like opponents, there's a story about someone's companion converted to another member of the tribe, right? Like if your wife decided to leave you for the mailman, you might be a little upset about it. But the teaching in this story was, give that man all your horses, give that man all your wealth, wish that family well, in their next life, next part of their life. We can learn a lot, right? And so since you did say we're going to put a part of this on the Instagram, GWAT and Operation Epstein Fury troops can learn a lot from the Vietnam troops that threw their medals back.
I disagree with you. I have to say that for Instagram, but I appreciate you and I appreciate your time and I appreciate your input and I appreciate you coming on here with the comments. Takes a strong person. I'll back you on that. And I don't know if I could do it. I do want to ask you one thing to take with you so you can come back with it. We got called woke right slop. And I was like, wow, there's nothing sacred anymore. Woke right slop is what they called us because we refused to jump on a bandwagon. Most of the people that hate Trump right now are only hating Trump because it's popular to hate Trump. Now, are there good reasons to hate Trump? Absolutely. No one can articulate why. It's just groupthink. It's mobthink, and that's my opinion. So I don't just go join the whole I hate Trump mob movement. I will articulate my own reasons on why I don't like him if I don't like him. But we got called woke right simply because we said he's not going to be able to use a ballroom that he wants to build.
Great book called A People's History of the United States, written by Howard Zinn, and it goes through each president and gives history that we haven't really been taught much. And there's a great image I like on, you might be able to find it, Google image. It's of this elder Korean woman, and it says, "I hate all US presidents." And then I did see a comment in the chat about how much cannabis does this guy use. And this is nearly like the end of one bag, but God bless the medicine.
Did you smoke any of that peyote while you were out? What do they smoke? Did you get any of that?
Peyote is eaten in the Native American church, and I did not. I likely will not. I was part of the decriminalized nature effort in the city of Oakland, the first to decriminalize psychedelics beyond psilocybin in the country. And Native American, Indian communities lobbied so that we do not include peyote in this decriminalization effort. We keep it criminalized essentially to protect it, to protect all the tourism that could come from that and the over harvesting and over extraction.
That's smart.
All right, Ryan. Well, I won't take up any of your time. I know you stayed over for us because we went over and we actually were late to you. So
much love, gentlemen. See you next week.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Yep.
See you next week.
All right. We don't argue anymore.
I think we could if we wanted to, but we've learned a dialogue where we can preface it. It's almost like
Go ahead.
Talking with your wife.
Go ahead.
Like
Go ahead.
you can't just be blunt.
When you know she's wrong, when you know she's wrong, and you just pretend she's not, so that it doesn't cause 130 text messages.
Well, it's like anything. Oh, let's talk about verbal judo with a criminal, right?
That's easier than dealing with. That's easier than dealing with a wife.
Sometimes, yes. I will 100% back you on that. But that's being married, gentlemen. We chose this life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's it. I think we've learned effective communication with Ryan. I think we've also learned that when we ask him direct answers, sometimes we might not get what we want. So we have to now word our questions in ways where
I think we've baited him in a little bit, though. He answers more questions than he used to. Like, it's getting there.
But yeah, man. I mean,
I got a story I want to play. Whenever you're ready. Hold on.
Ready? What? I don't have Jew girls.
Florida woman fatally shoots Army vet over parking issue.
Okay, I like where this is going just by the title.
I don't know if you're going to.
A new video raising new questions about a deadly shooting outside of a Walmart.
A father of three losing his life over a parking spot. And tonight, the woman accused of shooting him claims that she fired in self-defense. Local 10's Rochelle spoke exclusively to the victim's daughter. He's live down in North Lauderdale with what the video shows. Rush.
So you just mentioned this, and this is important. This woman is claiming self-defense. She'll have to argue that she had a fear, an imminent fear for her life. Well, tonight, we have the video, and you'll see it for yourself. And what we also have tonight are the words of the victim's daughter. And you'll see how heartbroken she is. The backstory on this case, she was estranged from her dad for many years. Recently, they were trying to rebuild their lives when he lost his life.
Can you pause it real quick? So am I allowed to base the ethnicity of the
now.
victim based on
It's
what I
too
hear?
late. It's too late now, but go ahead.
He was a strained father. I'm gonna go with Chinese.
I think you're all wrong. Go ahead.
Just kidding.
Here we go.
Just kidding.
We're going to start this with the video.
White.
The victim with
white.
the gray
Okay,
shirt. The woman
So
with
there's the woman is this lady, and this is this.
Where the
this
hell's the
park
van going?
out of Dodge? And it is.
Oh, okay. It's not okay. Got
the gun.
Okay.
There is a standoff, and then the shooting. You can hear it.
He was a good man.
A daughter in
Let's go back.
tears. Amanda.
Again. Watch the distance. She claimed she was in fear for her life. So let's go back to here. Unarmed man.
And then the shooting. You can hear it.
He was a good man.
He was, dude. He was moving forward.
Ready?
Father, Bart, shot in the stomach in a Walmart parking lot, North Lauderdale.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
Cops say an adult female and the victim were involved in a verbal altercation over a parking space in the Walmart parking lot prior to the shooting.
I don't
I
like
want to
to
play a game.
deal with
Stop. Does she have a gun pointed at him?
Yes. The whole time.
She's in the right. She's in the right.
That's been like a talk about it at all. That's why I was very hesitant to do this
Hands up,
interview.
don't shoot.
Dude,
But you are doing it. Why do you want to
moving
speak
towards her, and she's walking away.
Because I want my dad
Liberal
to be
Tyler.
remembered.
Get rid of this crying bitch. She has nothing to do with anything. This is the fucking agenda.
According to
trying shoot.
investigators, the shooter, the adult female, remained on scene, cooperated with detectives, and she told them the shooting was in self-defense.
He loved his country. He loved his country.
Bart served in the military. There are no charges
Does he have a twin?
in this case at this point. Amanda says she was estranged from her dad for many years,
All right, I
but
don't care
recently
about
they
that.
were working on repairing her face.
No one
So
cares.
you-
All right, stop. They have no story, so they're trying to use the daughter as a way to gain sympathy.
If
Because
we
they're trying-
allow, no, listen. If we allow that scenario, okay, you bring a gun with you I want you to pull a gun out, and the first time somebody yells at you for taking their parking spot and walks up to have a 15-foot argument with you back and forth, I want you
He's
to pop.
moving towards her and advancing towards her when she's
So
moving
we can
away.
shoot
and
unarmed
pointing.
people. We can shoot unarmed people for arguing. I want you to say that out loud. I want you to say to America and everybody listening, if you get in a verbal argument, with
Mike,
an
you're
unarmed
the
person-
fucking liberal right now. You're the liberal.
No way.
Dude,
No.
you cannot advance towards someone that is pointing a gun at you and walking away, and you still advance. I'm inclined
She has
to
no.
believe-
He doesn't have a gun. What are you talking about? She
No,
has a
she's
gun.
just got to get punched in the face, Mike.
So
She's
you
just
know he's
got to
gonna
take
punch.
it
You know he's going to
because
punch
he's
her.
mad at parking.
You know he's going to punch her. So from now on, when you get to a call for service, all cops, if you see a guy that looks like he's going to punch you and he raises his voice and takes
This
one
is
step
not
forward,
a cop, Mike. This is a fucking woman at a grocery store. Let's put your fucking daughter in there. Is she allowed to shoot him?
Nope.
Some guy's fucking advancing towards her
You have-
over
so you
over a
can-
parking spot, and he's
How do
moving
you know-
towards her.
How do
She's
you know who
backing
the
away.
aggressor is? How do you know she's not saying, I'll beat your fucking ass or I'll kill you?
That's not illegal.
You can't.
That's
So
not illegal.
everybody in America, I want you to take this. You can't argue in public. If you argue in public, I want you to shoot your wife next time she argues with you and walks towards her.
Like this
I want
is
you to
the
do
most
it.
insane argument.
Okay.
This is rage baiting at its finest.
I can't believe you think it's okay to shoot somebody walking towards you.
If
in America,
that is my mother's sister, wife, daughter, future daughter,
matter.
and
Doesn't
somebody is that mad over a parking spot.
how do you know
that's
he's mad? What part of what
What does
did
he
you
got to
see?
do? What importance does he have to bring when somebody's back?
What if she almost killed him and he wants to walk? What if she almost ran him over and he wants to say, "You stupid fucking bitch! You should drive safer. You're on your phone texting." Pow, and he gets to get killed.
What if she robbed him 5 minutes prior? Now we're going into what if territory.
No,
so we
you
could
don't
what if
see
to
anything in
death.
that video. There is nothing in that video that creates agency to shoot somebody. Bullshit.
Except
that
for
means
him
every
advancing
single verbal
towards her.
argument. It doesn't fucking matter. It's America.
You could just fucking assault people because you're mad.
How do you
at
know
a
he's going to
parking
assault? I'm going to play the devil's advocate right back. How do you know he was going to assault her? Was he going to beat her with a crane? How do you know what he was
if you
going to
let
do?
me go, first off, it's a parking violation issue, or it's a parking space issue. So that creating someone that mad, a parking space,
How
if
do you
you're
know he's
willing to
mad?
get out of your I'm trying to talk. If you're willing to get out of your car and go fucking confront somebody over a parking space, that's already says a lot. Then she's backing up. He's moving forward. She points a fucking gun at him, and he still fucks around and finds out.
Not moving, standing, not moving, and then gets shot. Yes, that's what happened.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I mean, I would have to, if we're going to argue literally footsteps, we would have to rewatch it. But I can't. From what I remember, he was advancing towards her while a gun was pointing at him. That leads me to believe this guy does not care that she's pointing a gun and he's there to do some damage. She's in the fucking clear, especially in Florida.
Flip the races.
The races
He's a white. I want you to make the same argument if that was the white guy with the gun out and the black female was walking towards him. Tell me that's okay.
It is legally okay.
No.
Now it's up to him to articulate his fear.
Tell me, okay. She was going to scratch my eyes out. She's a big Haitian lady.
What if before this? Okay, so we're making metaphorical points here. What if before this scenario? She said, "I'm going to fucking kill you."
Okay,
and your
same
daughter.
Same scenario. Flip it from the white guy's got the gun and the black female's is walking towards him arguing. Tell me he can shoot her.
If he fears for his life, yes, that's a welcome to America, dude.
Okay.
He's got to articulate his fear.
No, a jury will articulate his fear. He can fire. I can shoot anybody. I can shoot anybody I want and then say anything I want after.
He's got to articulate his fear to the jury.
I can walk outside right now and shoot my neighbor and say, he looked at me wrong. He walked 3 feet down his driveway to the edge of the road. I felt in fear, so I killed him. I can say that right now. I can do it right now. Let me see how that pans out.
I know you could, Mike.
Okay.
That's why would. What point is that making?
That you just said anybody walking towards you that you fear you can shoot.
In any circumstance, and in that one, yes. That one, yes.
Have you ever seen a park? How many parking lot arguments have you been to in your career? Probably 1,000. What if we just all started shooting everybody we disagreed with in public?
I think that's the same logic as in what if everybody had a gun? If now in America you were allowed to defend yourself, I think we'd have a lot less parking lot arguments because people would make sure it's fucking worth it.
Oh my God. So it's worth dying and killing somebody in a parking lot.
Dude, I walk around every day knowing that any altercation I get in with any human being could end up in me fucking dying. That's why I don't fucking get into any.
Okay. So I'm going to do a study and I'm going to go sit at Walmart and watch parking lot arguments. And I'm going to start encouraging people to shoot the person that walks up to them, because I've had people walk up to my window. I've had people walk up
right now, Mike.
You're telling me, so if me and you get in an argument at the studio tomorrow and you walk towards me,
no, Mike, because
why not? I'm scared of you. You're big. You're big. You're big. You're a big guy. I'm scared of you. I'm scared of you. So can I shoot you if we just
Mike,
right now?
No.
If we're having this conversation in person and you walk towards me, can I shoot you?
I'm trying to tell you no, because it would be reasonable to believe that I'm not going to hurt you because we've been in business for 2 years and we're best friends.
I'm angry.
It doesn't matter. The reasons behind everything matter.
I'm Jimmy angry. And I come walking towards you. And I'm raging because that guy doesn't look aggressive to me. He's arguing with her over a parking spot. I've seen it in my life 10,000 times. 10,000 times I've seen two people scream at each other in a parking lot. What about road rage? Okay, how about this? They're driving. So today I leave the studio. I'm going to
road rage, especially, dude.
I can shoot the guy next to me who's yelling at me because I think he's going to hit me at some point.
If they're moving towards you in a road rage incident, those are fucking very.
He wasn't moving towards her.
Okay, that's what I saw. I saw him moving towards her and her moving backwards. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'm the guy that hangs the jury. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna repeat this out loud. If you're in a parking lot today and anyone walks towards you and yells, you can shoot them. That's it.
Mike, you are wild right now, clipping that. Are you pulling a fucking Grady Judd? Because he can get away with that. He's incumbent.
No, I'm telling. That's what you just said. If I think I'm in fear because somebody's screaming at me.
Are you practicing for politics right now? That's not what I said.
Tell me what you said. Tell me how that's okay.
You have to articulate your.
That's a police word. It's not articulate. You have to stand your ground.
Yes, you do. You have to articulate your fear.
No, you don't. She doesn't have to say a word. She can remain silent. She doesn't have to say a word. She's a citizen. She doesn't have to say anything. A police officer has to articulate their fear.
Okay, I just said in front of a jury. So are you not going to articulate your fear? You're just going to stare at a jury?
She doesn't have to take the stand. She can say,
well, a lawyer has to articulate it for her. She, in some way, shape, or form, I'm sorry, Mike, has to express to the jury that she was in fear.
No,
right?
she doesn't. She doesn't have to make a statement at all.
Okay. I do feel like I'm fucking arguing with my wife at this point. I don't know what we're arguing about anymore because I'm trying to tell you and you're just saying, no, she doesn't.
She doesn't have to say anything. A cop, you're using cop terms. A cop has to articulate their fear.
If you're on fucking trial and they go, why'd you shoot this guy? You can't just not say anything.
Have you ever seen a trial? People don't take the stand when they're charged with stand your ground or.
Sorry, they're a lawyer. They're a lawyer.
So you're telling me that if your son or you gets in an argument with a lady and because he hits her car or gets in a parking lot skirmish and he walks forward and he's telling her, you're fucked up for running into me. I'm calling the police because I'm sick and tired of this shit. You hit my car, and she blows him away because he's telling her walking forward he's going to call the police. He deserves to die.
What if he's saying, I'm going to fucking kill you?
You don't know what he's saying.
Right
I'm
now.
asking you what
you don't know what he's saying either, Mike.
And why are you taking her side that fast if you don't know what he's saying?
Because I'm literally looking at the facts.
So
that's it. I'm not playing games where we sit here and go, well, what if he said this?
So okay,
you are. That's
Take
what
the
you
words
just
out of
said.
it. Okay, so if anybody walks towards me that I don't like, I can shoot them if I feel in fear. That's what that's the scenario.
Yes, that's the whole point of self-defense. I don't stand your ground. I don't know. I don't really know what we're arguing here unless you're not for stand your ground, and then that's awesome.
You have to have imminent fear of danger. Yelling at somebody's not imminent fear of danger. Or arguing at a parking spot to me doesn't seem like somebody should lose their life. I guess I'm crazy because I've been in a lot of arguments in bars.
I'm saying you asked me my opinion. That's my opinion.
Okay. And I think it's crazy. I think that's a violent America that we're creating. I think that's the reason that
like I said, more people or less people would fuck around and find out. Everybody got guns, dude. Everybody's gonna be a little bit more respectful. You're gonna think about that.
You can't argue with anybody in public because now
why are you arguing with people in public? Why do you have that right?
Have you
never? Why do you feel like you have that right to just start
somebody
screaming?
Almost takes your wife out today in the parking lot? You're not going to get out and defend your wife and yell. No, I'm not. That's arguing in public. What are you talking about? You're not going to ever argue in public with somebody ever. There's no scenario on earth where you would argue. With
someone almost takes your wife out, and then you go and fucking stand up for her, and they point a gun at you. What are you going to do?
That's an infinite decision.
No, it's not.
Are you raging? Are you steroid raging? Or no? I'm saying.
What do you do if somebody points a gun at you?
Who knows? Who knows? Some guy, we watch it on the internet every day. Some guys run. Some guys go, bitch, you ain't going to do nothing.
I would say it's pretty smart to back off if you're not willing to fucking die on that argument. Somebody says, get the fuck away from me, points a gun at you. What the fuck are you going to do? Are you going to go, fuck you?
I'm asking if it's legal. I'm asking
if it's legal. Yes, it's illegal. I mean, I don't. I'm not even trying to sound disrespectful, Mike. I don't know what's so confusing about this. She has to go to trial. I'm not a judge or jury. I'm not a lawyer. You're just asking my opinion.
Okay.
That's it.
I think it's a very dangerous America you're creating for our children and everybody else. If we can shoot people in parking lots
why am I getting treated like the fucking guy running against you?
This isn't a running thing because this is the anti-gun. This would be spun as anti-gun. So if I want to be Republican, I'm going to tell you mow everybody down. It doesn't matter. So I'm not actually doing this politically. This is like a human thing where we have all been in arguments in public. We have been screamed at by other people. I have screamed at people for almost hitting me. I've screamed at people for almost backing into my car. That happens on a regular basis. If we determine that if somebody argues in a parking lot and takes a step forward while the argument is happening and we can kill them, we're creating a more unsafe America than the AI takeover, in my opinion.
Well, I will tell you this. If we live in America where you can't defend yourself, where you fear, we also fail in America.
You're absolutely right. And that I don't see anything in that video that shows that lady was in danger. I just don't.
If that was my fucking wife and some dude was advancing and she shot him, I would be like, hell yeah, babe. Good job.
Of course you would. Of course you would. And if you were his daughter and the guy was yelling because that lady almost took him out and he was pissed off that the lady almost ran him over.
Is this made up or is this factual? I don't know.
You just made that part up too. It wasn't your wife. So I want you to look at it from not your wife. I want you to look at it from two people in the parking lot. Should a man lose his life for arguing with somebody over a parking spot?
It's not arguing. It's called assault in Florida. That's assault.
No, assault is making a threat. No, stop. It's not assault.
Making motions.
Nope. Making motions.
Moving towards someone
is assault. Walking towards someone, simply
in
walking.
an argument
is assault.
When someone says step away from me and they keep moving
Did she
forward.
say, no, you're adding words. Stop adding words.
I would say that it's safe to say she said back the fuck off if she pointed the gun at him.
How do you know she's not telling him he's a cocksucker motherfucker?
Right. You're right, Mike. We'll see what was said. We only got one side of the story. The other one's fucking dead because he fucked around and found out.
I like the video. Take the video in and of itself.
Yeah, the video is awesome. The video is awesome. It shows him advancing towards someone that's pointing a gun at him. That's amazing. The video is good. She's good based off the video. You don't even need to know what was said.
I don't know. Because if
I got to make sure that's from Florida, Eli.
I was arguing. If I'm arguing, I don't think it's Florida. Hold on.
You have to make sure any statute that you pull up is Florida statute. Assault actually is very different in Florida amongst all other states. Assault
an
is
intentional or unlawful threat by word or act to do violence to a person or another, coupled with the apparent ability to do so.
Say that first part again. Sorry.
An intentional, unlawful threat by word or act to do violence to the person or another, coupled with an apparent ability to do so, and doing some act which creates a well-founded fear that the other person, that violence is imminent. That is assault.
Dude, you just fucking nailed it, bro.
Yeah, I nailed it. You're arguing with somebody and
that is assault. That is assault all day. I really do want to see how this plays out, Mike. I feel like we should dress up as lawyers and do this one.
We just did. We just did. I'll take the dead guy spot. I'll take his spot.
I'll flip the script with you. This is a great one. I'll play the prosecutor. Yeah, because I'm the defense right now.
The prosecutor is going to be either charging her or not charging her. It all depends on the grand jury. So
I'll defend the victim. I'll defend the dead guy then.
Okay.
I can do it either way.
I'm defending the dead guy.
I'm saying I'll flip it with you. That's how good this case is. I'll flip it. I can do it too. I'm just really good at arguing, but I do truly.
The best thing out of this that I can take out of this is Tyler's how much he hates veterans, because that guy was a veteran and that guy died, and Tyler advocates for veterans to be murdered.
Wait till you see the reel that's coming out this afternoon. If I didn't have the whole world hating me,
today's the day.
Veteran and the dog community is going to hate me.
Oh God. So let me read Stand Your Ground real quick.
Okay.
Florida self-defense laws set in section governs defense to home and occupied vehicle, defensive property, immunity that makes doctrine powerful and safe. See, Stand Your Ground a lot talks about the house and home. And
I really don't know Stand Your Ground. I've never read it. I just know it from South Park and what I understand of it, which could be wrong.
Yeah, I look at this one, and if he was saying I'm going to, again, that's where we don't have the context. So without the context, I can't say it. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't say it's good without the context, because if he's just yelling at her because she did something stupid, like almost run him over or whatever it is. Again, I don't know what happened, because that would be an aggravated assault. So I'm not trying to take it to that level. But if me and you are fighting for the same parking spot, 100 right now in America, there's probably 1,000 people arguing over a parking spot as we speak.
Yeah,
in my opinion, to shoot somebody, I'm not saying, again, there's a gray area where, yeah, if he's still advancing, then I'm not going to argue. He stops. He looks like he's yelling. That's where I go. Did he walk towards her? Yes, but we don't know what she's saying, and that's where I get it. I'm just talking about the way it looks right now. I don't think if I was, and I also don't think if it was flipped, it would be riots. But there's no way you're going to be able to shoot a female that's saying I'm going to kill you. I'm going to come over, whatever she's saying. You can't do it, and that would be horrendous. But without the words, I look at this and go, are we going to start shooting everybody in parking lots that we disagree with, that maybe comes over? Because when you want to get your point across to somebody, you don't yell across a parking lot. I'm going to walk up to you and say it further. Now, if he's saying I'm going to beat your ass, I'm going to kill you, all those things, I concede he deserves to be shot at that point. But without seeing that, I'm saying I can't make a decision that you did, which is, it's great. And I think that's where our breakdown occurred. But it was good internet. It burned off a lot of my tension.
I'm going to gaslight you and say, like, yeah, dude, you're right. I don't care.
No,
I really don't.
No. I'm glad you didn't, because I needed to get all that off my chest and argue a little bit. Oh, good.
All right, we'll be back. What's tonight's Thursday? Tonight's Counterculture Live. Are you gonna pop in for that?
Jay? Yeah, always top in. Jay's
No,
got my
Jay was
website
last
up and-
week. We got Dylan this week. We're gonna
Dylan.
do. I like the
Awesome.
first hour where it's like one person focused, get to know them, and then the second hour is just fucking send
Well,
you the link and hop
You'll
on.
get, you'll get Mad Mike in there at the beginning. I'll pop in, say hello to everybody, and then I went in the Discord last night.
Oh, nice.
Two dudes were playing some dumb game.
Well, we'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. as always on YouTube. So thank you for watching. Go to Mike's new website, copvilleog.com. It's actually really user friendly now.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I never ordered anything from there, so I didn't realize how bad it was. Jay's
never
like, "Yo,
been my own store.
I never ordered anything, so he's like, bro, this thing is garbage. Like, you know who built that for me was that really good guy Reagan that recommended.
Piece of shit, bro. Not
Yeah.
Reagan, the other guy.
I don't know. Reagan's questionable. If Reagan
All
was
right.
yelling at me in a parking lot, I would shoot him.
Mike's gonna dwell on this all day because I was right. We'll see you guys tonight.
JV team for life.